All right, we're continuing Geronimo. The Summer Olympics. When people talk about the Olympics, everyone immediately thinks of the Summer Games that take place every 4 years. The Summer Olympics has the most competitions, more than 300 individual and team events. These are also the games in which the greatest number of athletes participate. More than 10,000 athletes participate in the Summer Olympics held in Athens 2004. One reason the Summer Games are so huge is that every sport includes specialized disciplines or events. For example, the swimming competition is broken up into several events, including diving, synchronized swimming, and water polo. Field events include 3 disciplines, include running, jumping, and throwing. These 3 disciplines may include many individual and team events. Just think of how many track competitions there are, starting from the 100-meter dash, which is less than a few seconds, to the marathon, which is more than 26 miles long and lasts hours. The Winter Olympics. In 1924, the 7th Olympic Summer Games were held in Paris, France, while the first Olympic Winter Games took place in, I have no idea how to pronounce it, Chamonix, France. Until 1990, both the Winter and the Summer Games were held in the same year. After the 1990 Games, it was decided to reschedule the Summer and Winter Games by alternating between them so that the Olympics would take place every 2 years. Each would still be held on a 4-year cycle, but 2 years apart from each other. Organizing the first Winter Games was not easy, even though there were fewer athletes and events than in the Summer Games. Why? The problem, first and foremost, was the snow. Today we have machines that can make artificial snow, but not back then. During the 1964 Winter Games in Innsbruck, Austria, the Austrian army had to bring in tons of snow and ice by truck because it had not snowed. Oh, wow. The Winter Games have more than 80 events. The individual and team competitions are in the following sports: biathlon, bobsled, curling, ice hockey, luge, skating, and skiing. What are the Paralympics? Those are coming up. An English doctor named Sir Ludwig Guttmann had the idea of starting a sports competition as part of the rehabilitation process for the handicapped war veterans. The first games took place in Stoke Mandeville, England. At that same time, the Olympic Games were going on in London in 1948. His event was so successful that after a short time, these games became international. During the Summer Paralympic Games in Rome in 1960, 400 mentally and physically challenged athletes from 23 different nations participated. Close to 4,000 athletes from 136 countries took part in the 2004 Paris Summer Games in Athens, competing in 19 different events. Since 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul and 1992 Winter Olympics in Albertville, disabled athletes were able to compete using the same venues as the Olympic competitors. That's how the Games got the name Paralympics. That is, games that take place parallel to the Olympics. Summer sports include archery, cycling, swimming, volleyball, and weightlifting. Winter sports include alpine and cross-country skiing, ice hockey, and wheelchair curling. Okay, this is the last one in this video. Sports that come and go. Did you know that in 1920, tug of war was an Olympic sport? That rugby was an Olympic sport for a few years, and then it was taken off the program. Tennis was added, then scrapped, then reinstated. That last summer sport to make a debut was Taekwondo. That snowboarding is now an Olympic event. Who decides which sports to include and which to exclude? In the past, there was a lot of confusion as to what sports were to be included. It was up to the host country to decide which events were to be included and which were excluded. The decision was based on their preferences and their local cultural traditions. Since this was not exactly fair criterion, the practice gave rise to a lot of criticism. And so the Olympic Committee came up with a rule that was fair for everyone. For male athletes, the sport needed to be played in 75 countries and 4 continents. For women, a given sport needs to be played in 40 countries and 3 continents. This way, there would be no favoritism and all could participate, at least in theory, with the same chance of winning. But the biathlon. What is a biathlon? It is a race that combines cross-country skiing. Oh my. Sorry. Oh my. It is a race that combines cross-country skiing with rifle shooting. Biathlon competitors ski a long-distance race, stopping every so often to shoot at a target along the course. The winner not only must complete the race in the shortest time possible, but also have the best target shooting. Wow.